Hello, and welcome to another wonderful Wired Wednesday. My name is Ashley, and this is Apple Devices and Operating System. In this video, I'll be talking about the iPhone and the iPad and the iOS operating system. To start off with, what is iOS? iOS is based on the Mac operating system, which runs iMac computers and MacBook laptops, but has been adapted for mobile devices. The whole idea behind the iOS is that it allows Apple products to talk to each other seamlessly. In the beginning, this operating system was called the iPhone iOS, and the first time it was released was in 2007 on the first generation iPhone. The first iPhone was pretty thick and clunky, kind of like a small brick. Over the years, Apple has made the phone more sleek and has updated the features of the iOS. The newer phones are water resistant as well. The first generation iPad was released in 2010 and ran on the same operating system as the iPhone. To this day, both the iPad and the iPhone run on the same operating system, on the iOS. The iOS user interface is based upon using gestures to be able to control your phone. So such as, the gestures is swipe, tap, pinch, then reverse pinch, so going back and forth like this. The interface controls elements to include sliders, so sliding something across to select something, a switch, a button, and you can turn your screen for landscape and portrait as well. So this here is just your typical home screen to start off with. So a lot of these apps are apps that are already on here that are Apple apps, so to speak, like the App Store. You have FaceTime, Photos, Maps, Find My. So there's Find My iPhone, Find My iPad. So that's just something that if you lose it, you can go in there and you can see where it is. There's reminders and things like that. There's news on here. So there's all kinds of things. If you pull down from the top, that's where your notifications will be. So you can see here that I just had a new software update. So one of the newer things that the iOS is doing now is that they're showing you by app what the notifications are. So it's kind of grouped together. Instead of just showing you that there's different ones, it'll show you by the app which notifications you have. So I'm just going to press the home screen to open. So once again, I'm back here to my, press the home button, to open. I'm back to my home screen. So you can, if you go over, you can see that there's some more Apple things that are here as well that come with it. And then there's some things here that I've downloaded myself. So across the bottom, you'll see that there's some like the recent things and that get put there as well. Recent things that you have open, and then just ones you have just along the dock here. So for example, this is the iMessage, the very first one here. That's looks like a little message bubble. So this is how you would basically talk between maybe an iPad or an iPhone, or an iPad and iPad. You have a friend that has an iPad. You can go through iMessage and you can talk that way. The next one over here is Safari, which is Apple's web browser. Then you go over and there's music. There's the mail app that you have here, your files. And then the next, you see there's a little bar here. Well, the next part over from that is basically what you've used, your recent things that you've used. So I'm going to actually go into settings right now and show you settings. So in the settings, you can just see here, you can go up to the top and these are where your settings start. So you have your Wi-Fi, your Bluetooth, any notifications. If you like to set how your notifications are, you can do that here. Sounds, so like if you want to have like a tone that comes across when someone's FaceTiming you or that kind of thing, or if you're on an iPhone, it would be like your ringtone for your actual phone. Do not disturb, you can set up when you don't want to allow calls or incoming FaceTimes from people and that kind of thing. You can set that there. Screen time's good for when you have if you have children, you want to know how long they're on their iPad or on their iPhone per day. You can kind of get a weekly report about that. Then you have your general area. So like, you can check the about here. So this will show you here the about area. It just shows you everything that you have here. So you can see your model name, your software version here. So if you're wondering pretty much which software version you're running right now, this is the place to look. So if you're having an issue with your iPad and you're not really sure, or your iPhone, and you're not really sure what it is, like what's going on with it, knowing this software version is a good thing because you can go online and see if other people who have that software version have had that issue. If you have something that's newer, it's going to keep updating to the newest iOS. But if you have an older one, it might not be able to handle it. So after a certain time, you might not be able to update it anymore. So just being able to see what your software version is a really great way to, troubleshoot problems and things like that as well. So then if I'm going to go back into general, so you go back in, you can see your iPad storage. You know, any keyboard stuff you want to do, your fonts. If you need any sort of accessibility, you can do that as well. Then you go into Control Center, so you can see here, this is the Control Center. So if you need to add on any more controls, you can add those as well. So like text size, voice memos, hearing, there's all kinds of things. There Apple TV remote if you have an Apple TV. And then you can choose between the different appearances. So you can go light or dark. So say if you want a dark appearance, it looks like this. If you want a light appearance, it looks like this. And then once again, you can have the app icons on your screen show up as bigger, or you can have them a little smaller, depending on what you'd like to do. Accessibility here, so you can set up your accessibility. So if you're somebody who's hard of hearing, or you know, blindness, things like that, there's things that you can do on here to make it work for you. So that's something that you and your family members, or you know, some sort of a worker or something like that can help you with, to be able to set that up for you. Wallpaper. So once again, you can see your wallpaper here, and you can always change your wallpaper from there as well. Siri, we know what Siri is. Siri is just talking. You can ask questions to Siri, have Siri do things for you. You can have Siri add things to your calendar. There's all kinds of things that Siri can do. Apple Pencil, I won't go into that because this actually particular iPad has an Apple Pencil with it where you can draw with it, but not all of them do. Touch ID and passcode, so that's what you're getting into here with if you have a Touch ID set up or a passcode set up. Your battery, just like we can just take a look at battery. You can see the battery percentage. You can see what's using the battery. Your privacy settings are all here as well that you can do. So like your location services and that kind of thing. The App Store settings, so that kind of thing. Your wallet and Apple Pay. So if you have I won't click on that right now, but if you have you know, credit cards you've added in to pay for things for apps or things through the App Store, you can do it that way. Passwords, you can change you can go in there and you can see what passwords you have saved if you've saved your passwords. Your mail settings, your contacts that you would have. So these are just settings for these things, just for you to kind of set it up the way that you want it. You know, your iMessages, your FaceTime, that kind of thing. And then it goes down further, and there's even more settings for all kinds of things here, and any of the apps that you have as well. All right, and that is the iOS. So the easiest way to show you Apple devices is by going into Consumer Reports. I've done a video on this before for Wired Wednesday, so just go into YouTube or into Facebook and just look for the Consumer Reports run through. So I'm going to go in here. So just do the library. I've already signed in and everything. So once again, if you'd like to see the video on how to use Consumer Reports, you can just go back to one of my other Wired Wednesdays and we can do that. So I'm just going to go up to Product Reviews, and then we're going to go down to Electronics, and then I'm going to go to Smartphones. And then Smartphones, and then we're going to just narrow it down. So I'm just looking at the Apple ones. So in my other video, I did Android. So this one I'm doing Apple. So we're going to go by brands, and then we're going to go by Apple. And then I'm going to go down here and hit apply. So as you can see here, these are the Apple smartphones, so the Apple iPhones. So you can go through and you can take a look at each one of these. Keep in mind the prices are American on Consumer Reports, but they have the same phones in Canada. You can buy them from the Apple website if you want to buy them straight out, or you can buy them on a plan with your local carrier. So you can go down. You can see here what the overall score is of these, the reliability of them. You know, the Apple phones seem to be pretty decent. You can click on any one of these that you would like, and then you can get more information. Like I'll just give you an example. So let's just say we're going to click on the Apple iPhone 11 Pro. And you can see here that it just kind of goes through what it is. Once again, the price is American. And it gives you all the results. They'll give you the specs, the features and specs, the price and shop, reliability and satisfaction ratings. So you can go down, you can kind of take a look and see. You know, it gives you a whole detailed description about it and what they think and that kind of thing as well. All right, so I'm going to go back up to product reviews, and I will just show you the tablets. So which is the iPads. So we're going to go into electronics. I'm going to go down here to tablets. So under computers and internet, tablets. And then once again, we can do the tablets here. We're going to go in here. And then we're going to go by brands again, and we're going to go to Apple. And we're going to hit apply. So here you go. So they have the iPads, the iPad Mini 2019, and then you can go down. So once again, the iPad the iPad Mini is a smaller one, so it's an 8-inch screen, so it's like almost like a size of an e-reader. And then you can go down and you can take a look here. Once again, all the pricing is here. Once again, it's American, but it gives you the overall score, and you can click on them and take a look at them as well. So as you can see, you can go down to all the way down to an Apple iPad from 2019, 32 gig, and they're decent price, even if that's American money, but even the Canadian price is a pretty decent price for that. So if that's something you're interested in. And that's Apple devices and operating system.